champion of the world, from Omaha, Nebraska.
In favor of the winner, remaining undefeated, proving he is one of the elite champions of the sport.
The fight, it is over. Canelo gets the knockout. Deontay Wilder has eradicated Dominic Brazil. He is the...
Yo, you know what it is, man. It's your favorite channel, man, the CTB. It's Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Say what up to him, man.
What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to the show today.
Most definitely. Speaking of the show, if you're a fan of the show, I don't know why you're not subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Throw a thumbs up on the content. Let us know you like it. Throw a thumbs down on it if you don't like it. It's all fine and good. But most definitely leave a comment to let us know what you think of our opinions. With that being said, what is the topic for the day, bro?
Jojo Diaz against Devin Haney tomorrow night. Let's talk about the fight a little bit, but also let's talk about all the stuff around the fight on the outside.
All right, let's chop it up. Let's talk about it. Yeah, man. The weight is made. Weigh-ins are complete. Devin Haney came in at 135 on the nail. Jojo came in a couple ounces slight of the weight. They both look to be in great shape. This is probably some of the best shape I've seen Jojo Diaz in maybe since. It's been a while, man, since seeing Jojo this serious about a fight. I think he understands the magnitude of it. Yeah, man. They going back and forth. I think even Bill Haney's going back and forth with like he always does in the mix at the weigh-ins. So it's gonna be a great fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to him now after the weigh-ins than I was through the months of waiting for this fight. So let's break it down, man. Let's talk about it, man. What you think about the newfound drama surrounding this fight, man? What's some of the things you've seen from not only fans but from like other boxing entities that got you like, man, what's going on with this fight?
Well, I mean, of course you got the fight itself, but it seems to be as much stuff on the outside, because now you have the Cambosa situation after the upset over Lopez, and now we have a lot of talk about that fight being made and whether or not Cambosa is undisputed, whether or not he's unified, whether or not is Devin Haney the WBC champion or is he not the WBC champion, whether or not Cambosa wants to fight, and the comments that Mayweather also made concerning Devin Haney. So let's chop it up.
Yeah, man. Mayweather came out the other day. I think it was with Fight Hype. I'm not 100% sure. I got to find it and put the link in the description. But somebody questioned him and asked him, what did he think Cambosa's was undisputed? And he said, yeah, he thought Cambosa was the new undisputed champion at 135, which is kind of weird to me because just when Lopez had the belt, he was making a big deal about him not really being undisputed. but somehow now, Mayweather Promotions seems to be thinking that Cambosa is undisputed. And Devin Haney's belt is no longer valid. The new franchise title, the non-transferable title, quote unquote, that we thought it was, is now an official belt, man. It makes you undisputed at 135. So, I'm asking you a question. Do you think this because he wanted to see a Tank Cambosa's fight and he's trying to downplay Devin Haney?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's already putting his foot in for that fight also, and he feels like Tank Davis is going to win that fight. And if Tank Davis win that fight, guess what? If he's saying that Cambosa is undisputed, if Tank Davis win the fight, he becomes undisputed. So he don't want to be the unified champion. He want to be the undisputed champion. So when it comes to making fights with Devin Haney or whoever else, he can say, I'm the 135 undisputed champion of the world. So, I mean, I understand it from a boss perspective, but anybody that knows the sport knows it's bullshit. And Mayweather is pretty much, doing what he's supposed to do for Tank. So, I mean, I can't really knock him. But, like you said, with a lot of boxing fans today, we fall for anything that people say, we go along with it. But, us here at Chin Tuck Boxing and all our subscribers out there that's true boxing fans know it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I think he's trying to put his bid in, most definitely. He already pulling that money man thing. I seen Tank do an interview recently. Well, somebody asked him, do you think Cambosa should pick you over Devin Haney? Cambosa said he can fight anybody he want. He's the new king at 135. Tank was like, no, I'm the money man. So I see what's this guy's name? Eddie Hearn. I see Eddie Hearn trying to compete with Mayweather Promotions for that fight and for that Cambosa's fight. if I'm Kambosos, man, you got a choice to make, man. Do you want to be undisputed legitly by fighting Devin Haney and winning? Or are you going to cash out? Because in my opinion, both of those fights are dangerous for Kambosos. So do you want to cash out for as high money you can possibly get, which will be with Tank? Or do you want to just go for the glory, man, and get the undisputed title? Because my opinion, that's a hard choice, man, to make, man.
Yeah, it is because, like you said, I think he can make a little bit more money with Tank Davis because I think it'll be on paper. Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you why.
On his own,
it's gonna be a lot more money because Devin Haney already said he'll fight him in Australia, and I think if they have it down there, by him being probably now the biggest fighter almost ever in Australia history, and they gonna make him the undisputed champion of the world when they promote that fight, and how that fight down there, they can make it a huge event, and with the money they can get from that event and the sponsorship they can get from the big boys down there in Australia, whoever they are, they can pay out some nice money. I don't know if it's gonna be the same as Tank Davis, but that fight could be huge. So like you said, he got to choose. Do he want to make more money and fight Tank Davis, or do he want to go home in front of his own people with those 3 belts, or you want to say 4 with the franchise, and have that moment that you can't put a price on? So that's a decision he has to make.
You can't put a price on losing in front of your hometown crowd, man. You really can't put a price on that. I will say that, man. I still don't see it money-wise. I don't see that money-wise competing with Tank, man. Wherever Tank goes, it's going to be a pay-per-view event. If they had that fight in Atlanta, for Tank to win all those belts in Atlanta, it's going to sell out, bro. Whatever Tank goes to Atlanta is going to sell out. And then by fighting on the zone, man, you're not getting as much money as you're getting on pay-per-view. This has been proven already. This is no longer a debate, in my opinion. Pay-per-view is not dead at all. So whoever the zones of the world and the ESPN apps of the world, it seemed they couldn't even sell Terrence Crawford as being undisputed. Yeah. So the pay-per-view event is not dead. It all depends on the style set matchup too. So we'll break that down later on. But I think it's all about who you rather fight too. Would you rather be given a boxing lesson by Devin Haney, or would you rather get possibly knocked out by Tank? That'd be another thing you have to consider also in your decision. But let's go into the fight, man. To the real fight this weekend. We kind of downplaying Jojo Diaz, man. We can't disrespect Jojo like that, man. Jojo deserves his own show, man. He's coming off a tough, you know what I'm saying? I guess a tough. I don't know if it's a loss per se, but he's supposed to had a fight with somebody. Who was supposed to fight before he got this fight?
He was supposed to fight Ryan Garcia on it.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia being training for that level of fight and then being forced into a Devin Haney fight, that's night and day, man. That's night and day. It's kind of hard to quantify how much now he has to really be on his P's and Q's. I'm not saying I would pick Jojo against Ryan Garcia, but he has a lot better shot of beating Ryan Garcia than does beating Haney, bro.
A lot better shot.
So what do you think his game plan is coming in this fight, man? I don't think he's going to try to outbox Devin Haney, man. You think that's a possibility that's been on his brain, outboxing Devin Haney?
No. I don't think he have a chance to outbox Devin Haney. I think he's going to have to rough Devin Haney up. He's going to have to make it a rough and tough fight. He's going to have to I think he's going to have to just make it ugly. He's going to have to clinch. He's going to have to get shots off, hold. He's going to have to somewhat be a little dirty. He's going to have to make it. He just can't sit around and let it be a showcase fight for Devin Haney, where he gets to box and do what he want to do. He's going to have to control the fight and make it his fight. If he lets Devin Haney do what he want to do, it's going to be a long night. He'll probably lose on the scorecards 10-2, 11-1. But if he's able to dictate the fight at his own speed, at his own time, and when he wants to be aggressive, when he wants to turn it up and pick his work rate up, I think he has an opportunity to make it a close fight. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, we talked about Devin Haney on his last fight. We said we want to know how he would be if he kind of got in that foul zone and then he have any dog. And to me, it's still some questions there a little bit because, he got hurt in his last fight. And even though I thought that he did good by staying on his feet, he never really recovered from that fight. The last 2 rounds, he just pretty much survived. So if he ever gets into that moment with Jojo Diaz where he has some more controversy or some more times where he's gonna have to really bite down, how's he gonna react to it? So I think Jojo Diaz has to pick him in those type of situations.
You think Jojo got that pop though? I don't know. Jojo got that popular.
That's the problem. I don't know. I don't think he has the pop. So it's gonna just. That's why I said he's gonna have to do more of roughing him up and frustrating Devin Haney. Had Devin Haney looking at the referee complaining about him holding or about him maybe getting too close with his head while they're clenching or feeling like he's going a little too low with the shot. I know people might say that's not the way you should fight, but you fight. It's a fight. So if you can get away with it and the ref is not going to call it, Jojo Diaz is going to have to take advantage of it because I think that's the only way he can win this fight is to get inside of Devin Haney's mind and kind of get him, all over the place. Like you said, if he's complaining to the referee and he's whining about stuff like that, he's not concentrating on his ring generalship, anything can happen. But like you said, the big factor between him and Linares is that he don't have the power.
Yeah, he don't have the power. He don't have the style. I don't think either too much. We could be wrong, man. It's boxing. Boxing is a very tricky sport, man. And I'm one of the very few people that pick Campos to beat Lopez. But it wasn't nothing down. I wasn't downplaying Lopez's style. I wasn't downplaying Lopez's ring IQ or nothing like that. To me, it was just a long layoff and the personality. It was more so like the mental that I saw Lopez in. So like you said, Devin Haney, Jojo has to get into Devin Haney's mental because he doesn't have the physical gifts to, in my opinion, to outbox Haney. He doesn't have the physical gifts to really beat up Haney, in my opinion. Not like punch wise, more like you say, it has to be a rough house fight. It has to be a lot of clinching and a lot of bullying. But does he have the size advantage for that too? Because like I said, Devin Haney came in at 135 even. And he looked kind of big for that weight. He's been flirting with going up a little bit. He's getting up there in age now. He's in his mid-20s now. That's right around the age you start getting your grown man strength set in fully. Your metabolism slow down a little bit, so the meat the burgers you eat now stay around a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be at that point in his life where he might be thinking about moving up in weight. And JoJo's a grown man, man. JoJo's already 30 plus, so he's pretty much bigger than him.
He didn't feel into the weight.
He's already filled into the weight, so you have to assume that Devin Haney is a naturally bigger guy, not just height wise, but you know what I'm saying, physically strength wise. I would assume anyway. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Devin Haney is a lot bigger and stronger than Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz came up from the smaller weight classes, and I think he's filled in nice at 135, but he's a naturally smaller guy, so I think that's gonna be an issue. But I mean, if I want to play devil advocate, I can say that maybe Devin Haney's weight drain. Maybe he's having trouble making the weight, and maybe he comes in weak, and Jojo Diaz can take advantage of it.
People are saying that's why Lopez lost. A lot of people are saying that Lopez he was supposed to go on that treadmill in the back and sweat some pounds.
Exactly.
And people are saying that's why Lopez actually lost the Cambosis. So is it possible that Devin Haney weight drain at that age? And I don't think so, but it's a probability. You never know with boxing, man.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, man, let's break down the fight, man. Let's do the strengths and weaknesses, man, on a rapid fire type style. What's the strengths, weaknesses, and style game plan you see from Jojo Diaz?
I already told you the game plan for Jojo Diaz. I think his strengths is his confidence. I think he's a confident guy. I think he's not coming here just to be an opponent for Devin Haney to showcase his skills. I think Jojo Diaz believes in his heart he really can beat Devin Haney, and he believes in his heart he's one of the best fighters at 135. Whether you believe it or not is something totally different. I think his weakness is, like you said, that his boxing skills is nowhere near on the level of Devin Haney. And then most of the time when you have a guy that has a big advantage in boxing skills, normally the other guy has advantage maybe in power or size, and he don't have advantages in power or size. So it's just a bad combination to me. A bad combination.
Yeah, I agree with those. I would say my strengths for JoJo will be, that's the hunger, I guess you say he's coming in with. He has to win this fight. Like I said, last time he was on this level with the fight, he lost to Gary Russell in a dominating fashion.
Yeah.
And that was the lower weight classes on top of that. So this is a harder fight, in my opinion. So he has to come in with confidence. And he has to come in with hunger. And he has to come in with, I know recently he posted the shot where Devin Haney got hurt by Linares. So I guess he coming in with that type of confidence. He wouldn't have to come in with that level of type of confidence, say, I'm going to hurt this man. As far as wins go, yeah, like you said, the size advantage, man, is too much. The slickness of Devin Haney is too much. So I would say overall athleticism, man. His athleticism is nowhere near Devin Haney's, man. And the youth, he has the experience factor, but he don't have that youth factor right now. So, yeah. What's some of the strengths, weaknesses, and game plan you see Devin Haney coming in this fight?
I think Devin Haney needs to take his time and box and use his boxing skill. And if he wants to maybe go for a stoppage, to wait to the later rounds, to take that, like you said, that confidence and that hunger out of him in the beginning of the fight and beat it out of him, and then in the back rounds maybe try to stop him. But don't go in there getting too aggressive and trying to prove a point. And that kind of goes with my weaknesses with Devin Haney. And there's two of them. One of them is his questionable power. And we're still waiting. He had the one, great knockout. But other than that, it's been a lot of questions if Devin Haney is going to get that power that he's been waiting to get. He looks strong, but just his punching power has been lacking somewhat. And also, I think it's in the back of his mind, and I hope that he don't try to put himself in a bad position trying to get a knockout and get caught up in something like he did with Linares when he was controlling that fight.
I ask you don't think he learned his lesson from the Linares fight of trying to be a fan favorite?
I don't know. I really don't know, because he's saying the right things, because I watched some of his interviews, and on some of the interviews they asked about him stopping him. He'll just say, no, I don't know. I'm just going to win the fight. With that Linares fight, he was talking about stopping Linares, and I think he felt the pressure in the fight to try to go for it. So I think he learned his lesson on that, but we won't know until he get in that ring whether or not, is it still messing with him mentally. I think as far as his strengths, of course, is his ring generalship. I think he's way beyond his years as far as his boxing skills and his IQ, and I think that's his number one strength. I think when it comes to boxing, I think it's not but so many people out there that has better ring generalship than Devin Haney. So I think as long as he uses his strengths, I don't see how Jojo Diaz really has much of a chance. So I'm gonna go with a decision. I think he can get a stoppage, maybe in the late rounds, but from what I've seen from Devin Haney, I'm going to go with a decision and a dominating performance where he'll win on the cards 10-2, 11-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go weaknesses. I'm going to go his weaknesses. Like you say, I think he's going to fall into that trap again at some point in this fight. I think he's going to find out that he's landing punches on Jojo real easy. Jojo's there to be hit, and he's going to fall into that trap and start throwing more punches trying to get Jojo out of there. And I'm not saying his chin is suspect. Everybody get their rock every now and again, so I don't want to say his chin is suspect. But I will say, if Jojo land the right punch at the right time, anything can happen in the sport of boxing. So if Devin Haney going there with a mindset of trying to be a fan favorite, try to it's all good.
You go ahead, my fault.
All good. And like I said, he's competing with the Tank Davis this weekend, because the Tank Davis is fighting the next day. We all are expecting Tank Davis to have a devastating knockout. So if in the back of Devin Haney's mind is, I need to have a devastating knockout to possibly outshine Tank Davis's knockout tomorrow, and he's landing punches early on Jojo, it's possible he get checked in there. That's the only weakness I would see is his mental. As far as strengths go, you said it all already. Athleticism, boxing skill, reach, height, all of that. He has all the intangibles. He has all the advantages in this fight. As far as prediction goes, I'm going Devin Haney most definitely with a unanimous decision. I don't think he's going to stop Jojo. This is going to be a boxing match. I don't see either guy having the power to knock out the other guy. It's going to be a slugfest, and I see Jojo getting possibly beat up worse than he did in Gary Russell in the Gary Russell fight. But he's going to be there for that. He's going to be there for that beating, I think. As far as overall prediction of the weekend, I think Tank Davis is going to have a better event. What you think about that?
I'm glad you asked that question. I was about to ask you that question. If you could choose to watch one fight, what would you choose? Between the Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz or the Tank Davis and Cruz fight, you only can watch one for the weekend. Which fight are you watching?
Me, it's been from the DMV area and being a Tank Davis fan. I'm picking Tank Davis all the time. He's a homegrown hero, so I'm picking him all day. But But I think the Jojo Diaz fight, from a boxing fan, like a boxing purist perspective, I'm a boxing purist. From a boxing purist perspective, I think the Jojo Diaz versus David Haney fight is gonna be a better fight to watch. What you think?
Okay, I'm answering this still based on it not being me paying pay-per-view. Just I can watch whatever fight I want to watch. Because if you just put that in there, I'm always gonna choose the Jojo Diaz fight and Devin Haney. It's a tough decision. I want to say Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz, but because I think that's the more competitive. I don't think it's a more competitive fight, but like you said, I'm more of a like you said, a boxing purist. I like to watch good boxing, and I feel like Jojo Diaz is a better fighter than Cruz. But I think that Tank Davis and Cruz is going to be a more exciting fight for just your average day fan. For anybody that's just want to tune into boxing, from you to your girl. If your girl was sitting next to you watching the fight, she would probably be more entertained by the Cruz and Tank fight, because I really think they're going to be throwing bombs in there and they're going to be right in front of each other for that 6 to 7 rounds at last. While the other fight is going to be more of a boxing clinic, which I appreciate and which you appreciate as a hardcore boxing fan, but 70% of people that watch boxing are not hardcore boxing fans. Exactly. So I think it's a toss-up, really.
That's a good point. Can you, especially in today's generation where a lot of people are looking for like the clickbait, they're looking for like the highlight reel KOs. I think people are expecting that with the Tank Davis fight. Nobody's really looking for a Devin Haney knockout highlight reel fight. So I think that's why I think the pay-per-view gonna do well, because I think people are. You have to think about it. Since Deontay Wilder came out in his loss, you have to look at him being the new person with the highest KO ratio that people are gonna be leaning on for a highlight reel knockout. Not Devin Haney, but Tank Davis can take that mantle, man, and be the viral knockout guy. And I think this is his fight. He's gonna do that. Man.
You think it being on Sunday is gonna affect that a little bit?
Yeah, I think so a little bit. Only because of football. I think it's at the end of football per se. The card starts like at the nighttime game, but right around the same time the football game ends, I guess the main event should be starting. But people got to work on Monday.
My Denver Broncos play that night, man. Come on.
Oh, you Denver Broncos, man.
I'm the only black Denver Bronco fan in the world. You just met him today.
Not from Denver.
Yeah, not from Denver. Not from Denver. I'm the only black Denver Bronco fan not from Denver. So you seeing him live in person right here.
Yeah, I don't see nobody. I don't see it stopping it. It might affect pay-per-view numbers per se, but I think people won't watch it eventually anyway. Whether they watch it the following weekend on free TV or what. But it's no more different than watching it on the app, on the Zone, if you think about it. I don't even own the Zone yet, personally, so I kind of I'm on a fight-by-fight basis with the Zone.
Yeah, exactly.
With that being said, make anything from the answer to this topic, man? It's a dope show.
I think that's all. I think we covered everything.
Most definitely. With that being said, this is your favorite channel. This is CTB, Chintel Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Say peace to him, man.
All right, everybody. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, comment. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing. But most of all, God, peace, and love, and we out of here.